Hey guys, this is Sean McGarry coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the music salon where great things happen. Hope everyone's doing awesome out there. Got a lesson today I want to talk about phrasing, man. You know, it's a question that comes up a lot, and it's something that I think a lot of guitar players struggle with, even myself sometimes, trying to find those great, sweet melodic tones and phrases and all that fun stuff. And you know, there's some ideas that I want to talk about today as far as like what you can use for phrasing. So you know, the biggest thing I see people playing is just playing non-stop and really not saying anything. So we want to think about, you know, what is phrasing. So let's dive into it. So in today's lesson, I'm in the key of D major. I'm going to talk about a few things here. I got a cool little chord progression. So if we're in a key of D, we could also think as B minor, okay? So hopefully you guys know some of this stuff. But a cool chord progression is, so if I want to play in D major, right, if I want to think of just, you know, that sound, D major, well, I could also think of as a B minor. And what that is, that's the relative minor. If you don't know, it's the 6th degree of that major scale. That's a B note, so I'm going to turn that into a B minor chord. And that will also make a great chord to solo over, vamp over. So I started on what's called the 6th minor, the minor. I played this little chord progression. This pretty common sound, and you know, you'll probably recognize this a lot, you know, in a lot of songs if I go. There's a lot of songs that come to mind. I'm not going to say because I want you guys to drop some comments in there and say what song that reminds you or what songs, because there's a lot of songs. So again, I'm really just playing B minor to D, okay, so but I'm kind of playing a C in between. I'm going. But play whatever you want, man. That's what I'm using for today's demonstration. So, you know, I'm thinking major pentatonic to start off with. So let's think about this position, right? So here's my D note. Now, to me, this is one of the most user-friendly phrasing positions of scales of all the scales, in my opinion. Just because it, you know, can slide and go, fingerings. There's a lot of cool stuff going on when you play this. So here's like a couple octaves of the scale. So if I start here, 5th fret A string. This is my D major pentatonic, and I'm going. Okay, but what you don't want to do is just play the scale, you know what I mean? So watch this. That's not very musical, you know, it sounds all right, but it's like you're not really making any statements. So what are some ideas for phrasing? Well, I'm going to show you a couple of exercises and also just ideas to think about. You know, and it's all the cliches, but you know, we as players and teachers, whatever you want to think of us as on YouTube, you know, we talk about the same things, but it really is like you're having a conversation and you're saying things with these notes. So the first thing I say, man, and I'm going to use an example of what not to do, and I think this is important. So hang with me if you made it this far. Let me give you an example of what not to do. So I could play also in B minor pentatonic, and I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I use this example a lot. So let's just think about you're having a conversation with somebody. And watch this. So if I go like this. Okay, think of those as words. What if I start going, if I'm trying to have a conversation, I just start going. Well, you'd walk away. You know, if those were words, ba 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 ba, you know, it's like, what are you doing? You know, so you got to think of those as little sentences with strong endings to sentences. So something more appropriate might be like this. Those are all little concise little sentences. So that's what we're going to talk about today, phrasing. And how do you get to that point? It's not easy, you know. But I want to start with this first little exercise here that I think might help you out. So when I'm playing this major pentatonic, well, I don't have to start on a root. Now, first of all, any scale, you don't have to start on a root, you know. You can start wherever you want. As a matter of fact, well, I'll talk about that in a minute, but like sometimes it's best not to start on a root to get out of that routine. So here, if I'm playing D, I'll play the A, which is here, an octave lower, and lead up to the D. So I'll go, right? So right now I'm just doing a little pickup riff into the D note. Now I like to do a hammer-on because instantly that makes our ideas not just so scale-like, okay? So we don't want to sound scale-like, we want to sound like little phrases. So the first idea here is, okay? And we're going to repeat that all over the neck in different positions. So idea 1, hammer onto the root note, then I go up to the E and slide that. Now it's real important we do that, just like that. So just start with that. So if we got a looped one, watch this. Right? Sounds pretty cool. Now we're going to take that same idea and we're going to keep going. We're going to go. Right, now we're starting to get some phrasing going on. Let's try that again. Okay, now one more time, and we're going to keep going this time. We're going to go. And I resolved up here on this D note. And you could also think of now, you're kind of connecting chords. Look at these shapes, D to D. Okay, so all together. Okay, now you don't have to play all that at once, but you want to kind of keep that same do-do-do, like hammer on slide, anything. These are just ideas, like I said. And you know, you could use that in different spots. What if I use it with the minor pentatonic? Well, if I go up here. Here's the same idea with different notes, look. Right, hammer on, pick. Sounds pretty cool, watch. There's lots of ways to do that, but you kind of, it doesn't sound exactly like this, but pretty close, right? It's the same idea. So it's phrasing. It's just how to get started with these ideas. Okay. And then like when you get up here, okay, so I might repeat some of these riffs. If I go, I like this lick. I'm going to go. So all together I'm going. Resolving on D. So let's look at that lick over this. Right, and then you kind of find those little phrases all over, look. So I might use this. Right out this D chord, look. So like the idea is repeating patterns. And these pockets of phrasing start to happen. There's a lot of things I want to talk about today. We could phrase like with more of the major scale, right? Here's a cool little lick. So right, look at this chord shape here. I'm playing my F-shaped D, and I'm playing this little, and in my mind I'm just kind of seeing this chord shape, right? And I'm skipping around. Look, you can play that with a chord. If I do this, like a D6 to a D, to a sus sound, right? It sounds pretty cool even like that. Watch if I go. Now with just a single note, watch, same idea, but it's a phrase. Okay, I'm not sure about my timing. I don't have the volume adjusted really well here. My fault. Got the loop a little low here, but so yeah, again, you can find these ideas of chord shapes. Now that's just, again, playing kind of basic phrasing ideas, okay? Here's another thing to get out of when you're playing. You know, one idea is we get stuck in kind of playing in the same, whether it's 3 notes, 4 notes, kind of the same thing. So especially like with the minor pentatonic, and there's a million of these sequences, right? Like everybody knows this one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, right? Well, who's to say you have to do like every time? You might go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a new phrase. Look at that. Great phrasing idea. Look at this. Over the music. Right? So little things to get us out of ruts is really what we're talking about here today. Getting out of patterns that we all get stuck in. Now this is the one I like to play this. Let's say we just want to play the major scale. Well, there's some weirdness, right? Now that's the major 7. I can bend up to the... That's kind of a note you want to avoid sometimes, and it's. I'm not going to get it right now, but this is sometimes it can kind of clash with certain things. It's not completely wrong, right? Now you can say, well, it clashes with the C, which it does. But if I took out the C, it wouldn't be wrong. If I went, you can fit that in here. So, like, you can go. Now, I stole this lick off one of my favorite guitar players, Mr. Guthrie Trapp. I got this exercise off him, where he just skips the 7th altogether, and I play this all the time, so I'm gonna steal it and show it to you guys. And look at this, now you have a new phrasing idea. So without that 7th, it sounds a little more pleasant. Different position. Right, so just find your D major or whatever key you're in, right, in this case, and just play that little riff. Check it out. You just leave out that 7. So it's a really cool thing, and there's so many of these little variations. So I want to go back one more time to that very first phrasing idea, because this is just kind of a short lesson to give you some ideas. So again, I'm going. Okay, so that's kind of phrasing 101 there. I hope it helps you guys and girls out. As always, thanks for watching this channel. Please consider hitting the like button, the subscribe button if you haven't done so. And I even have a Patreon page with all kinds of fun stuff in there. So we'll see you next lesson. Thanks. Leave a comment to that song if you guys can recognize that chord progression. I'm hearing a bunch of songs, so I'm anxious to see what you guys think. Thanks again.